So one of the things which Bruce came up with these English flies was to put use seal's fur as the tag. Now he used red seal's fur. I sometimes will use orange seal's fur. Seal's fur as a tag. If you're going to tie a red tag, I would never tie another fly with a wool tag, because what it does, it gives you the right colour, but it gives you the buoyancy at the back end of the hook. So for a fly like the carrot, just gives it that extra buoyancy, because the carrot, I mean, it works static, but it also works tremendously as a pulling fly. So when you use a dubbing material as a tag, you just tie in as you would anything else, give it a bit of a pluck, and there you go, you've got a super buoyant tag with all sorts of different colours to it. It really is a fantastic material. Now, not all clarets are created equal. I mean, in terms of colour and dyeing. Ross Pullen years ago was importing seal's fur pretty much by the shoebox full, and I've still got a lot of it. So it's just that colour. I use claret a lot. Pretty much, if I had to pick a colour to fish for my life with a fly, it'd be claret. Now,
that's quite a red claret.
Yep.
To the one that I use anyway.
Yeah, so you might use a darker claret, like that.
Yeah.
Burgundy.
So you reckon that redder one's a better colour?
I like it as a dry fly. Yep. So when I tie the claret dabbler a bit later, I'll tie it with that darker stuff.
Yeah, okay.
When I tie a fly called the hatch breaker, I tie it with this darker stuff, and I'll tie that one next. So the trick is with this is to get that body tapered. And you can't get the taper unless you build it up slowly. So little and often with seal's fur, if it's not going on properly for you, give it a rub in your palm like I was talking about before.
Roll a few smokes.
Yeah, well, I used to do that. Used to smoke 80 a day at one stage. Used to get home after night shift on full choke. It's at the time I was married to my first wife, who didn't fish. She badgered me for 6 months to give up smoking. And I was working shift work at the time, and smoking 80 a day, loved it. Anyway, finally gave up, went to the doctor, got the patches, all that sort of thing, gave up smoking, and I reckon within 6 weeks of my last cigarette, she'd started smoking.
Payback, was it?
Oh, well. I came out the winner in the end, so it didn't matter.
What hook was that, Neil?
Sorry?
What hook was that?
That's the Camazan, not the Camazan, the Tiemco 102Y, so the number 11. Hackles with this, just the roughest, dodgiest old hackle, because it's not a hackle fly. The hackle just really just gives it something to push in the water. I've got these old saddle hackles, used to buy them from Ross for about $5. You really only just need a couple of turns. It can be, it's just, that's all it really is. It's just a wiggly old hackle.
So is that a hen or still cock?
Pass. I think it's cock, but a very effeminate one. Sorry, that's probably not politically correct. And again, I'll leave plenty of space with this at the head because I'm going to put a hot spot on it.
It's a sort of a furnace colour, or?
Yeah, brown. I'm not very particular. It's just as long as it's brown.
Yep.
And 3 turns of that, and that's plenty.
It's more like a soft hackle.
Yep, yep, because you want that bit of movement. And I just pull them back. There you go.
Where do you use this fly?
This fly, I've used it as a sight fishing fly. I used to use it as a polarising and tailing fly on Arthur's Lake. Don't be mistaken, Arthur's Lake was, hopefully will be again, one of the best wade polarising venues in the Highlands, particularly up the eastern shore of Brazendale. If any of you know the backside of the island, you'll know pretty much where I'm talking about. But also tailing fish love it. caught lots of tailing fish in the Western Lakes on a Claret Carrot. King William, love King William. But in Arthur's Lake, typically it was conceived as a loch-style dry fly, and typically we fished it on the top dropper. So we'd fish an orange carrot in the middle, Claret Carrot on the top, and a possum emerger on the point. And we'd tie those 3 flies on at the beginning of the season and take them off at the end, really. It was difficult to go away from those 3 flies. Again, the reason I've left the head a bit skinny, can you see that all right? Is it showing up all right? Is because we're going to give it one of these. And this is the real lift to it. This really makes the fly, in my view. And again, this is Bruce Gibson at his best. Can't claim credit. When it comes to fly tying, I'm a great plagiariser of other people's flies. I don't reckon I've ever come up with an original fly that was any good myself. Whoops. There we go. There you are. Guaranteed trout poison, that.
So alternative red.
Alternative red tag. I've used them with a black tag just to give it a bit of extension. Black tag works well.